I'm Counselor Fox. I am a family and trauma counselor, founder of Fox Adoption and Counseling LLC, and the developer of Remm, Replacement Experience Memory Method. Along with former U.S. Army Specialist McLean, we developed the military and first responder version of Remm to address that population of invisible injury warriors, both in the scope of war and the scope of being a first responder in civilian life, their spouses and caregivers. We wanted to bring them together, provide them with a place where they can find healing from stress, anxiety, and PTSD. On this particular video, we're going to be talking about incoming. It's that famous word where when you yell, everybody heads for a foxhole or ducks. General Dees, Major General Dees, writes a book called Resilient Warriors in a resilient trilogy that he has. It's an extremely good series on military resilience. And he says about incoming that most everybody is aware that it's an alarm that a rocket or a missile is headed towards your location, and of course run for cover. There's one Army major that he quotes in a foxhole in Kuwait during ODS. He says openly, the open vulnerability of war, at the moment he heard incoming and the whistling of the rocket, he says it was at that very moment when he truly gave his life to God. So when we get to our absolute point where we expect to die in that very moment, we often instinctively, down to our very depth of our soul, cry out to God. Louis Zamperini did the same thing on the raft in the middle of the ocean. He pleaded with God and begged God and promised that if he saved him from that scenario, that he would give his life to him. It took a few years after, but ultimately he did, and so did this soldier as well. Incoming trouble is much like tribulation in life. You never know when it's going to hit. We all have troubles and tribulation. Before I give you this Bible scripture, I'll tell you one event that happened for me that created a post-traumatic stress scenario for myself later in life. I was in my early 40s. I was going back and forth to work in those days, driving my wife's older 633 CSI BMW. 5-speed, very fast, awesome machine. We'll do 160, not too long a period of time at all. And not that I would know from personal experience. And so this one day I was getting on to the on-ramp, and it was a double on-ramp, and the light went green and the 2 rows went onto the on-ramp to get onto the freeway. There's an oncoming lane from the other direction merging, so there's 3 coming to 2 going to 1 onto the freeway. Well, you can guess what happened. There was a big, and I mean a big, red semi with no trailer, but the semi on my left, and a white car convertible on my right. And as I sped up, because I knew I could, to get out of the merge, somehow I miscalculated and I found myself between a big red semi and a car, and I saw her, and she was not looking at me, and he couldn't see me, and I cried out to Jesus to help me, and the next thing I know, I swear the next thing I know, I'm stopped on the side of the road. Truck's gone. I see a little red down the freeway. Lady's next to me. There was a very, very, very tiny little scratch on the turning signal lens of the BMW, and a very, very tiny scratch in her driver's side door where we met. We decided to call it even and a day, and we went our separate ways. But to this day, and this is the effect of PTSD, every time I see a big red semi, either to my right or my left, my first reaction is to want to get out of the way. I have to overcome that just as quick and say, no, that was then, this is now. That was an event that happened then. This is a new event. This is not the same semi. It's not the same car. It's not the same day event. Nothing is the same except it's a big red semi. That's it. So my reaction to that initial event is what's important. There's always going to be incoming. John 16:3 says, in this godless world you will continue to experience difficulties and tribulation or trauma. But take heart. Be assured that I have conquered the world. If you have this assurance that you're taken care of, that you're not in jeopardy of anything eternal bad happening to you, then you face these incoming with a completely different mindset, knowing that when your time is up, God will take you home. This is how I chose to live, and it served me very well. I know others have chosen the same path. I'm going to continue to do my thing. I'm going to continue to serve God, be a Christian counselor, be a good family and trauma counselor. And when my time is up, my time is up. There will be many more incoming. I'm sure of it. And I'm ready for it. And I can help you get ready for it too. So to learn more, please go to my website. It's remmworks.webs.com. Send me an email. I'll get back to you right away at remmworks42@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at remmworks or Facebook/remmworks. God bless you, and get prepared for those incoming, because they're going to come, and I can help you when time comes. Thanks. God bless. Bye-bye.